So my name's Katura and I'm 15 as of 10 days ago. Am I in front of the screen? Yes, okay. So today I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my story and how I came to be standing here in front of all of you experienced businesswomen and men tonight. Some of you might be looking at me thinking, why is there a kid on stage? And it's because I'm an activator myself and I've experienced the SheEo system and the encouragement and support that they've given me over the past year. And I also have a very important message to share with all of you. A lot of people ask me, how did my journey begin? I've been asked that question more times than I can probably remember. And I guess my whole kind of story started about a year ago when I had to give an impromptu speech, which I hadn't prepared for at all. I didn't even know it was going to happen until a minute beforehand. And I ended up speaking about my passion, which was bringing sanitation, education and medication to developing nations. In the audience was a lady called Jude Kalman who invited me to go to Mozambique with her a few months later. It was a lot of trouble tricking my mum to let me go. So I ended up going, and since then I've been working with Mission Educate. I'm now the youth advocate, and I thought before I went over, it was a 42-hour plane flight, so I had a lot of time to think, but on the way over I thought I'd prepared myself. I thought I'd gone through every scenario. I thought I was ready to see the 5th poorest country in the world. And I can tell you now, I got off that plane and I drove to our accommodation and I was not. I looked out the window the whole time and my heart just sank. Because these are people. And this was something that was happening in my world. Although there were lots of good parts about it too. In the first few days we went to a church service that went for 8 hours. Long church service. Wow. But it had all the enthusiasm of a rock concert, which was really cool. We also went on a lot of adventures at the King of Kings School, which was where we were making a documentary. We met all these students that were my age and younger and older, but predominantly hung out with kids my age, and I got to learn how they were like me. They had hopes, they had dreams, they had passions, they had a favourite colour, they had a favourite thing. They were just like me. And we also got to meet all these kids. I reckon one of my favourite moments was when I walked into a room with 55-year-olds and I introduced them to painting for the first time. And I have never seen anybody's face light up the way they did when I dipped the paintbrush in the paint and put it on the paper. I remember very clearly it was magenta pink and they were happy. They were so happy. And that was the positive part. But after that, after a few days at the school, we left. And we went and we saw the villages, we saw the houses, we saw the way the people that I'd met and the friends that I'd made, we saw where they lived. And I think that was the real moment where that switch flicked in my brain and I saw, this is different. This is the difference between my life and my friends' lives. You see, these kids don't have the opportunities that I have. They have so few choices and every single day of their life is a struggle for survival. I saw homes that were smaller than my bedroom, that had roofs that were made out of palm fronds and string about to face another wet season, and the worst cyclone in living memory. I remember speaking to Jill, who's been in Mozambique for 17 years, and hearing the stories of orphans and children and families, and about hearing and learning about all the things that I took for granted. Things as simple and normal for us as access to antiseptic, and how in Mozambique, to the people that I'd met, to the friends that I'd made, to the families, that was the difference between life and death. To me, education has always been a basic right for every single person on this planet. But to all the friends I made, all the students I met, which is 2,056 students, education is a life-changing privilege. Not a basic right, a privilege. And I can remember that afternoon talking to Jude as we were filming for the documentary and saying that I do not need everything I have at home. Because it was in that trip that I realized I don't. I have so much privilege. And these people are so much happier even without most of the things that I have. And I can remember when I went home that night and I was sitting in the very hot Mozambican heat in my bed thinking, I can't go home and not do something. I cannot go home with seeing these people's faces, with making these friends and not try and help them in some way. And I guess that was where the idea for 8x8 was born, because I started thinking, well, who's my tribe? What am I good at? How can I turn something that I do into something that helps other people? And I started thinking, well, I'm good at art. Art's something that I'm quite good at, and I kept thinking on it, I'm like, oh yeah, artists are passionate. That's my tribe. So that's where 8x8, which is my business, was born. In 2018, after I came back, I started it up. It's a social enterprise, so it doesn't have the tax benefits of a charity, which is not great, but it still allows us to function. We donate 100% of our profits to education in Mozambique, and I currently have 3 main income streams. My younger sister, who just turned 13 5 days ago, and I illustrated a book. So that's one of our main income streams. We also have 8x8 to Educate, which is my social enterprise, and we also have company and personal sponsorships, which all help us donate to Mission Educate. So last week, I actually stood at the inaugural opening for the art exhibition in front of 160 people, kind of scary, and with 187 pieces of artwork on the wall. And I'm very, very proud to say that within 2 hours, every single artwork on that wall sold out, which is beyond what Thank you. But beyond that, beyond just selling the artwork, there was every single piece made, piece bought, and every single moment shared that night was shared with love. And that very night was a symbol of both our hope, our humanity, and our unity as women, as people, as students, as just humans. And that, I think, is just amazing and truly beautiful, and that's something I can feel tonight. I can feel every single one of us is just, we're here. This is a tribe in itself, and that's really powerful. I think that's why I wanted to become a member at SheEo, why I wanted to become an activator. Because the concept of radical generosity is just so important, and it fits with my morals very, very well, which is pretty cool. Because SheEo is about women helping women. It's about you connecting with her and you connecting with her and just coming together and building each other up, not tearing each other down, which is amazing. And if I'm being brutally honest, I didn't think I could afford to be a activator at first, but I'm here now and I'm so, so happy that I am, because it is amazing, and that's due to all of you who are here looking to become. So yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. This is because you are the amazing people. And it is very, very possible. It isn't a far off dream that you can't reach. You just have to look at me for an example. I turned 15 10 days ago. I have practically none of the experience that you would all have. So if I can do it, so can you. And if you think about it, over the past year, I've managed to raise over $170,000 in cash and goods for Mission Educate. Last week I had my first event, and I've recently been announced as a silver awardee at the Stevie Awards in New York as the Women of the Year in the non-for-profit category, which is something I never thought would be possible for me. I've been a guest speaker at the Perm International Volunteer Forum in Russia, which was in Russian, so I had to get a translator, so that was an experience and a half. And I've also been interviewed by the United Nations, which is a dream come true. And this is possible. I'm just a schoolgirl on the Gold Coast with a dream. Well, and because of the support that SheEo has showed me, because of the encouragement and the help that every single woman or man, like all of you in this room, have showed me over the past year, this is all possible. SheEo's been outstanding. I can't fully express that. And I cannot fully emphasize the fact that women helping other women makes women fearless. I'm going to say that again. Women helping other women makes women fearless. That's a lot of women. Thank you. Because it really does help. It gives you the opportunity to face fear and see failure as not just something that pushes you back, but something that pulls you up and is a learning opportunity. And it gives you the permission to keep going. It gives you the permission to move forward and say, I have faced something hard, but I have overstepped that and I will go further. And that is something that I really think SheEo helps with. Because if you fail, they're right there saying, this isn't a failure, this is a learning opportunity. You can still improve. And that's amazing if you really think about it. And I'd like to finish off by saying, I'm going to say amazing again, but this is amazing. And I know I've said it about 6 times, but it truly is. And I can't find another word to say it. Women supporting each other is so, so important if we want to progress and make change and become our own entrepreneurs. If we want to become equal, if we want to get to that point where you don't have to see the difference between the X's and the O's, you just see people. That is what they are doing at SheEo. SheEo is changing lives, and I encourage every single one of you to look around and see who else needs my help. I want you to look at women like you and support them so they can help change the world. Even if it's just one activation at a time, you can do it. You can change the world by banding together and supporting each other. So yeah, please activate. It helps so much. Yeah.